Hello, welcome back to the layout, and it's taken me a little bit of time thinking how I was going to do this, and as you can see I am actually going to cheat. I can't quite fit everything I want in a 4 foot by 2 foot, so I'm adding an extra inch, so it's going to be 25 inches by 48 inches. Well, it's just under anyway, because this, you buy the boards in millimeters, and that's 60, which is just slightly shorter than 24 inches anyway. So and one of the other reasons I need to add this in is because I'm going to need to cut out the batten that rests just underneath this point, so I can drill the hole. So I'm going to need to cut out all of that. And then we're going to have a very weak layout board. So this is going to then just be bolted straight to that. This will give it all the strength then that I need. I do need to just cut out the piece for the river, and then put in some filler and things like that just to tidy that edge up. But as you can see, this is so this will curve around like this a little bit and then terminate there. Then this one sort of come up a little bit more around there. Nice good shed here. So these are roughly about 12 inches, 30 centimeters each. That one's slightly longer, but it just gives you a little bit more interest with the shunting side. So, and I am going to be putting a station just along here. So some platforms, there'll be a bridge that comes down. So, and then sort of where we've got the hillside and everything there, there'll be like a road that will come down. Not sure if I'm going to do something going across there and over a bridge. I'm not sure yet. But it's sort of, now I've sort of got really how I want all the points. All the points are brand new, so I don't get any dead spots or anything like that. Obviously I'm going to still weather the track, and that causes problems, but then I'm just going to get all the holes marked for drilling all the holes ready for putting the point motors. That is the only tricky part, just that one there. So I'm going to put them all on this sort of side, so it hides it a little bit more. The layout is actually transformed to, this is now become the front, that is going to become the back, and it's going to be set in Wales. So that's what I've sort of decided. So I've got a backdrop of Wales to come from. I think that's Clanberis, with all the hills and everything, so I think that should look quite good. Okay, I'm going to mark all these points up, get the holes drilled. So I need to take all this track back up, but you know, once I've got it marked, and then I'll get the holes drilled. Right, I've got all the point marked. I think exactly where I need to drill the holes. So I'm going to take all this section of the track back up, get these holes drilled, get this fixed on the front, and just jigsawed out there. And I'm going to need to just take a small piece out of the supporting board there. So and this is going to be the crucial bit to make sure it doesn't all fall apart again. So right, I know with double O gauge I always use a 15mm, but I'm just thinking probably going to use like the 13mm. And so I was just measuring that up, and that's about the right. As long as I've got these holes marked correct, the 13 should do all the movement I need. So I'm going to double check before I do the drilling. There is a saying, measure twice, cut once, or measure twice and drill once. I don't always follow that, and sometimes I just go for it and then I go, okay, I should have measured twice. So I'm just going to double check, make sure everything's all straight, I've got the right holes in the right places, and I think a 13mm should give us enough movement back and forth for the point move, and also not be too sort of in your face. There's a massive hole there, all the ballast will fall through it. So, and I can't remember on the last 10 gauge layout that I made which one I used, whether it was 13 or 15. I mean, the good thing is with the 15 you've got a little bit of movement either way, and I did think should have put a bit of masking tape over it and just do a small groove so it's even less obvious, even if I did use the bigger drill. So I'm going to make a decision when I've just double checked all the holes where I'm going to drill these points. Right, I've got all the holes drilled, so there's just the 4 points on this. I've added the small section at the front here, done a little bit of filler on there just to fill in any gap, give it a good paint, ready to get the track actually physically laid now. Now I've got everything ready, so I'm just going to put all that back in place, make sure I've got all my holes in the right place, which I think I have. So the first telltale sign is me drilling another one. Well, everything seems to be lining up okay at the moment. Obviously you will see the holes, so I'm going to put a little bit of masking tape over that before I do the ballasting, and then just cut a groove where the point motor is going to operate, and I think that should hide any of that, stop all the ballast just falling out when I come to put that in. So I think that'll be better. With end gauge you have to put them at the side, double O gauge you put them right in the middle, and it just makes it so much easier on double O gauge. So but I'll get that all blended in and hidden away. I've done it the opposite side to where you see, so if it was this side you would sort of see all of this so obvious. So I have done it purposely on the opposite side so it won't look quite as obvious. So I'm just going to get these set up now. Just trying to remember which pieces goes where. I think that all went like that. I just need to use some new fish plates, so always the last couple of pieces trying to get in is always your greatest challenge. Right, I've got all this in, I just need to now glue it in place. So I'm going to just weigh this piece down initially, get that all glued in. I've also done a really good look down the track to make sure everything looks straight, and it's straight as I can get it. I've used all the gauges so to make sure everything is exactly parallel to each other. So really I just need to get it glued, weigh it down, wait, and then I'm going to just then set the sidings up afterwards. So at the moment the sidings are just loose, but all the holes seem to be in the correct place, so I should be okay there. I did use the a 15mm drill bit, give me a little bit more playroom just in case it did get slightly out. So like I say, it's just really have a good look down with your eyes, just make sure everything looks straight. If something's not quite right, because I'm using FlexiTrack, just move it slightly before you glue it, weigh it down. If you're using a bit of PVA glue, it actually works out quite well anyway, because you can just wet it and then just move it slightly if needed. So I've checked all the joints, they all seem to be joined together. So I always check the joints just with a magnifying glass as well, just to 100% make sure that I've got all the fish plates in place, because the worst thing you can do is get it all laid down and then you find one fish plate out of place. So all the track is all just now weighted down. I'm just actually waiting for the glue to dry, so that's going to take a little bit of time. I've put quite a thick PVA glue, then I've put a bit of water in there so it will flow all into the sleepers. So because I didn't have really anything really thin sort of thing, so I've just watered it down with a little bit of water, and that's now gone all underneath sleepers. It'll soon it's dry, but it will take 24 hours because there's a lot more water in it than before. So come back in a bit, I'll get the other side in place, and then I'll do a little bit of a testing around the track with a couple of coaches, make sure everything runs smooth, and then I need to do some wiring so we can get some power on it. As you can see, all the track now is completely fitted, all glued down, all nicely secure. I've actually added some power drops to just these two tracks there at the moment, so it's only got power really to this part of the track, but it should all work, as I've used mostly brand new track. There's a couple of second-hand pieces. At the moment I've just got it on these two tracks there, so I will be putting droppers on all the tracks to make it fully DCC, and all I've done is just put some wires out into the connectors, not even secured the connectors on the front yet, so I'm just going to test it using this class 24. So let's turn some juice up and test it. That all seems to be running nice on that outer track. Let's test the inner. Right, let's try it on the inner. Let me sure I've got the points set nice and correct. So, both loops working. So that's about it for this episode. Don't think I can do much more. I'm going to have a go at making platforms next. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode. Have a good evening and take care.